G'day guys, now you're at part 6 of the shoulder series, if I'm counting correctly. I'm going to use my prop here today, which is a supported seated row. And I get people on this to sort of start demonstrating to them how their shoulder blades move as opposed to their arms. A lot of the time we see with our hands that we're quite useful and dexterous and tend to grip a lot when we start doing exercises for the shoulder blades. The reason for that is we're not really well connected to the shoulder blades, particularly if we're sitting in a forward posture or we're doing things in front of us all day. Those shoulder blade muscles don't tend to engage, so that brain muscle connection is not really there. So what we want to do is jump on here and actually start. I prefer not to use this to begin with. I like to just support with the heels in the ground. That way you're using your lower back and you're using your core muscles and trunk muscles a little bit, which makes it a more full body exercise. But with that aside, what I like to demonstrate to people is the difficulty that it takes to actually pull the shoulder blade back without engaging elbow and shoulder movement. Okay, so the first thing I would like to see is that the person can distinguish that movement into two groups, and that is shoulder blade and then arm. All right, and what I often see is that the elbow will initiate without the shoulder blade actually moving at all. So if you're doing your seated row movement like this, you're probably getting a great exercise for your biceps and your forearms, and you tend to be quite grippy through the hands. Like I said, there's a preferential engagement of those arms down where you can see them in those hands. So you really have to work hard on relaxing the arms, taking the pressure out of the forearms, and really engaging that shoulder blade movement to begin with, and letting the chest come out forwards to start with, and then engaging the arms, so that when you're pulled back in that furthest back position, your shoulder blades are fully engaged into what we call a retracted position, and we want to hold that retracted position as we come forwards, and then finally leave the shoulder blades for the last part. So putting it all together, it's step 1 shoulder blades, step 2 arms, step 3 arms will come forward, and step 4 shoulder blades. So the arms are only moving when the shoulder blades are fully retracted, and in a good shoulder mechanics movement, you will see the shoulder blade engaging before the shoulder joint and elbow and wrist. Okay, when we're not engaging this movement in the sequence of the chain, then it leads to injury. So when we're doing this, 2 plates, keep it nice and light, just work on the movement, don't worry about the strength, try and teach your brain how to work the shoulder blade and add that to your protocol, and you'll find that's a safe movement or exercise to add to your rehab program next week, next time, part 7. Thank you.